Hey y'all, my name is Ashley and today I am going to be doing a tutorial, and the tutorial is going to be a pumpkin spice latte look. So I'm going to kind of play off the latte trend one more time, do a little pumpkin spice inspired look. Obviously it's going to look like this, so if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I know you're probably thinking, I filmed a tutorial Tuesday and it was already a latte look, and I'm pretty sure Raw Beauty Christy killed that. And I'm not gonna do another one after this, but I figured I would do a fun fall spin on it and do a pumpkin spice latte look. So I'm gonna prime my eyes and we're gonna get into it. Okay, just like before, and just like probably the majority of my videos, I went ahead and primed my eyes with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. I just realized I forgot to prime my under eyes. I keep forgetting to do that. But I gotta remember that I need to do this before I start putting shadow on, or it just doesn't apply well like underneath. And I like to kind of take it in my inner corner. So real quickly, I'm putting this Banana Brightener CC stick from Ole Henriksen underneath my eyes in the shade Banana. I have to remember to do that because I like to take it into my inner corner so that way there's like no darkness at all. And I always forget to put it under my eyes before I do my eyeshadow. And of course, like once my eyeshadow is done, there's no taking this stick and going in my inner corner. So that's done. Now you're probably thinking, you just did a latte look. I did just do a latte look, but I figured with fall, like this is the first week of fall. Fall officially started on Saturday. I would do a fall version of the latte look, which is, you know, pumpkin spice. So I'm gonna do a pumpkin spice latte look, which you already know because it's in the title. But I do have my pumpkin spice earrings in. I have made myself a pumpkin spice. And now I'm gonna do my eyes inspired by a pumpkin spice latte. So just last week, I actually posted a rotation video of like the makeup that I want to use for fall. And in that rotation, there was palettes that kind of screamed fall when you kind of looked at the color story. And this is one of them. And this is the palette I'm going to mainly use today. And this is from Melt Cosmetics, and it is still available to purchase. That is exactly why I picked this palette as well. I wanted to make sure the palette that I used was something that if you liked it, you could purchase it and not just purchase it from like Macari or Poshmark or somewhere like that. So this is the Bad Side Zodiac Fire palette. And look how cute that is. You cannot tell me the yellows, the oranges, the burnt tones in this palette don't scream fall. You can still get this palette, like I mentioned earlier. It's actually on sale on Melt Cosmetics website. So if this is the type of palette that kind of grabs your attention and you're interested in it, you can still pick it up. So now when I did like my pumpkin spice look, everything was kind of very neutral, very, I don't want to say very basic because I enjoy a good neutral look, and it is a neutral look. This one's gonna be a little bit more bolder and adding like a little bit of color to it. I'm definitely gonna be playing with the yellows, the oranges, the deeper browns, like the orange toned browns, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the shade 1 Upper. So this is gonna be it's gonna be a light brown, but it looks like a deep burnt orange. And I'm gonna go ahead and place that all in my crease. So I'm just going to pat it in my crease and kind of blend it down because I don't want to take it too far up into my brow bone. So I'm gonna go ahead and like blend it down and slightly blend it up. Now this is actually a video I wanted to go ahead and post last week, but I had a really rough week last week, and now looking back, things kind of make sense. Now the things that happened doesn't make sense, but the way I like handled it made sense afterwards, you know? Once the week was over and your period started, you're like, oh, that's why it really, really hurt me. But I had a rough week last week, which is why there was only like 2 videos posted. I really had intentions on posting more, but I cannot control the things outside of like myself. And I gotta like accept that a little bit better. But man, it was rough. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take a clean fluffy brush and kind of buff that out just so the line isn't so harsh. but I kind of want to sweep it up so that way you can see that really beautiful burnt orange shade and kind of know that this is inspired by pumpkin spice latte. Now I got this beautiful burnt orange going on. I want to add a even darker shade. So I'm gonna actually put this dark chocolate brown in my inner and outer corner just a little bit. I'm gonna do a halo look today. I feel like I just did a halo look, but we'll just wait and see, okay? So this is the shade Revenge when it is this melt palette. And I'm gonna take a small detailing brush. So it's fluffy, but it's still very tiny. And I'm going to just lightly pat it in my inner corner and in my outer corner, but just like a smidge. And it's so quiet in my house today because I'm the only one here. I have not been the only one home in a very, very long time. Like Sarah's at work, Keegan's at work, and today all of the kids are at a day camp. So my older kids actually have today off because apparently they need a random teacher work day. And because they were gonna go to a day camp, we went ahead and sent Ethan because I actually need to address to the emptiness of the house because next week Ethan is gonna start pre-K, and that's kind of making me a little sad because I've really enjoyed the last month of just me and Ethan being home and him just like, you know, running errands, just me and him, and just doing stuff together and just playing and hanging out with him. And now it's gonna be very quiet in the house and he's gonna start pre-K. So it makes me a little sad because he's the youngest and like, that's it. Like he's going to school and then he'll start kinder, and it's just like, and even though my other kids have started school and then one of them's in kinder and one of them's in first, I feel like because like after Ethan, there's no more kids. So it's like super sad. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, now the house is empty and it's just really quiet and really weird. So back into the melt palette, I'm gonna be using the shade Bossy. So this is more of a orange pumpkin shade, and I'm gonna use that shade to blend into that shade Revenge. I'm actually gonna use that same fluffy brush I was using for the shade Revenge because I wanna keep like this blending to like a small, I wanna have more control of the blending, and that's why I'm using a smaller brush. So I'm just gonna pat and blend. I'm gonna apply that to both sides, just like that. And I think I might have to deepen up the shade 1 Upper, which is that darker orange I was using, and kind of just like reapply that in the crease because I feel like it's fading a little bit in the center and it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two different oranges I picked out. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. And then finally, I'm gonna take a even lighter orange, and with the melt palette, it is the shade Too Much. And I'm gonna apply that down the center, blending the shade Bossy together, like the other orange shades I was using. And that's when I'm gonna go ahead, oop, I'm not that yellow, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then look for a really pretty shimmer to put on top of it. Now I realize, like, I thought I had this look all planned out and how I'm gonna do it and how I was gonna do the pumpkin spice latte look. And then I realized I don't have as many orange shimmery shades as I thought I did, like when it comes to my entire collection. And so I'm gonna be using a Super Shock shadow from ColourPop. And unfortunately, this one is no longer available. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look on ColourPop's website after I film this, obviously, when I edit and everything and fill out the description box. I'm gonna go ahead and put what I believe would be a comparison for this product. But this is an orange Super Shock shadow from ColourPop in the shade Doused Thou Comprehend, and it's just a nice orangey shimmer shade. And I'm gonna swatch it on my hand and show you, but like it's got like a light orange feel to it, but I'm really just doing it for that sparkle that I want to put in the center of my eye on top of the lightest orange shade that I did lay down. But I'm gonna take it on my finger like so and kind of just pat it down the center of my eyelid. God, I feel like my voice is disappearing and I'm not sick or anything, and I just sound super hoarse for no reason. Gosh, I am like sitting here complaining that I couldn't find an orange shimmer, and I found one. So we're gonna go ahead and scratch that ColourPop thing. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull from this Nomad Cosmetics palette. And I'm gonna be using the shade Foliage Trail. So this is like this shimmery orange here. And I'm actually gonna be taking it on a small, flat detailing brush. And I'm going to place it down the center of my eye. And then I'm going to take the shade Leaf Peeping, and that's going to be like this yellow orangey shimmer shade. And I'm going to use it down the center of that to just like add even a little bit more pop of sparkliness. And then one of my favorite things to do to melt shimmer shades together is just use my finger, and I'm going to go ahead and just pat down on it so it just melts into the lid and it kind of melts the shades together. Just like that. And now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the other side of my face, put my foundation on, come back and do the rest of the face. I feel like I do this every time where I'm like, I'll be right back. I gotta go I'll finish all this. But you know what, this time, just like the times before that, I wanted to add a little bit more. And I already did it to this eye, so I'm gonna kind of show you what I did on this side, on this eye, so you can kind of see how I kind of completed it. Because you see how like this one is like buffed out nice and smooth, and then this one's like orange and then my brow bone. So I took the lighter shade that I used on my lid, and it was actually the shade Too Much from the Melt palette. And what I'm gonna do is take the smaller detailing fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on the outside right here on the shade One Upper, which is that darkest orange that I laid down in the crease. And I'm just going to just pat it there and kind of buff it out, and take a clean fluffy brush, the same one I've been buffing out all of my shades with, and I'm going to buff it up into the brow bone. So just kind of pushing it up. And if you hear any noises, my neighbors apparently feel like it's necessary to have the entire street lined with cars and construction workers today, and they're working outside and they're playing very loud music. So hopefully I can edit the music out. But I'm gonna be buffing this into my brow bone like that, and it kind of just like completes the look, if you know what I mean. And then what I did is I took that same small fluffy brush and I dipped it into a yellow shade. So in this palette, it is the shade Drama Queen, but it's a nice mustard yellow. A lot of palettes I have this shade. I think even like the Nomad palette has this shade. Yeah. So like in the Nomad palette, it's this Cider House shade. The new Allie Dawson OFRA collaboration has a similar shade as well. So a nice mustard yellow in the inner corner. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it above the brown and that darker orange shade right here. And I brought it all the way down to my inner corner. And just like all the previous shades, I take that clean fluffy brush and I'm gonna buff it upwards. So very similar to what I did earlier. And then I'm just gonna use whatever's left on the brush of that yellow, and I'm gonna smooth it underneath my brow bone. So kind of like that. And I feel like just adding those shades and kind of like buffing things out that way kind of completed the look. And I kind of just wanna share what I did. So now I really will be right back. All right, so obviously I got my foundation on. I put on some contour, and now I'm gonna go ahead and bronze my face. And I think what I'm gonna do to like kind of keep on with the latte look with like PSL latte, I'm gonna use quite a bit of bronzer. I have two different bronzers in front of me. The first one's from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Bronzer, a bronzer that I absolutely love. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of this and kind of just put it at my hairline up here. I like to like bronze my forehead, even though my forehead's like super small. Apparently I like to make it smaller. And I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to blend it out with a powder bronzer. And this one's from Iconic London. It's actually a little bit lighter than my Charlotte Tilbury one, which is why I'm going to use this to blend it out. So it kind of like blends seamlessly into the rest of my face. Just kind of look everything airbrushed. Okay, off camera they're not looking much different, but this is darker than this bronzer. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this, and I'm actually just gonna use the same brush and just kind of buff everything out together. And so that everything looks blended, I'm gonna take the same brush I used to powder my face, and I'm gonna use that to buff them together. So I'm just gonna lightly brush them down because I obviously don't want to fuck up my eyebrows. I wanna go ahead and focus on the under eyes now. And so I noticed when I was, you know, applying my foundation and everything that I really should go invest in a brown eyeliner because I don't have a brown eyeliner. I use black for everything, and I don't know if it's because maybe I'm almost 30 and I finally realized that I don't have to use black for everything, but the last few looks I've been doing I feel like would look so much better with a brown eyeliner, including the one that's on my face today. I definitely feel like the brown wing would look better than black, but there is nothing I can do. I have what I have, and I am gonna go to Target after this, so maybe I'll pop in and buy, I'll see what Target has to offer first, but let's see what I can get for a brown liner. So now I'm gonna go back into my palette right here, and I'm gonna take the same dark brown that I used on the outer corner, and I'm gonna use that for under my eyes. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to just stamp it, and then I will use a clean fluffy brush to buff it out after it's been stamped in. I changed my mind. So I'm gonna take this brown, I'm gonna take it in my inner corner too, but I'm gonna leave a gap where they don't meet so I can put an orange down as well. So pressing in my inner corner, and then right in the middle is where I'm gonna take not the lightest orange I use, but the mid shade. So I did use 3 different oranges on my eyes. So the one that's in the middle is the one I'm going to use right here in the middle. So with this palette, it is going to be the shade Bossy, and I'm gonna stamp that in the middle, just like that. Clean fluffy brush. And by the way, it may appear that I'm using the same brushes. Like I mentioned in a video before, I have a microfiber towel right here, and that's what I use to wipe my brushes off. Just going to sweep this. And I feel like I need a little bit more orange, so I'm gonna pick up that orange on the fluffy brush and kind of just sweep that underneath all of it. So I've kind of gone for this like really nice blown out under eye, and I really like the way it all looks together. Now for blush, because this is kind of more of a look that kind of focuses on the eyes and not, you know, I don't want to add a poppy blush. So I'm actually going to be dipping into this blush palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics called Bare Cheeks. And I'm going to pick out a neutral blush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a little bit of this shade Making Me Blush because it does have some orangeness to it. And then I'm gonna use the shade Just a Touch, which is this nude shade here, to buff it out. I always do 2 different blushes. I like a poppier blush right here, and then I like to buff it out with a lighter blush down my cheekbone and like kind of up into my temple. Gosh, I am so sorry about my voice. The more I talk, the more it keeps disappearing. And it doesn't even hurt or anything, but it's like, where did it go? So that shade Making Me Blush right here. And then the shade Just a Touch to blend it out. I'm blending it down my cheekbone, and then I'm gonna be blending it up into my temple. And then to finish off the cheeks, I have like the perfect highlighter, okay? This is the highlighter from OFRA Cosmetics in the shade Pumpkin Pie. So it's a gold highlighter that leans a little bit more orange. And I'm going to just take a little bit of that, and I'm gonna pop it here, see what it looks like, and then decide if I wanna add more or just buff what I have out. So I like to put my highlighter right on top of my cheekbone and then bring it down to where it peaks on my cheekbone. And I'm gonna take a little bit up and bring it to the temple. And I'm gonna take a densely fluffy brush. These are actually foundation brushes. I don't like to use them for foundation brushes because I like my foundation brush to be a little bit more densely packed, like these KVD ones. So this is those, they actually have them right now, but these are the IT Cosmetics brushes for Ulta that are apparently really popular. They came out with a heart-shaped brush every single year. I love these to blend out highlighter. So that's exactly what I'm using. And I'm going to just buff that out. I never use it to dip into the product. I just use it to buff what's on my face out. I'm also gonna take that highlighter and use a little bit of this highlighter to add a little bit more shine to the center of my lid. So I'm picking it up on a dense brush and just kind of patting it down the center. Okay, so I went ahead and added some lashes, and now I'm gonna go ahead and spritz my face with the iconic London Prep Set and Glow. So now it's time for the final step, which is going to be my lips. And I really enjoyed the combination that I did for my OFRA first impressions video. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to go ahead and use this dark brown lip liner. Oh, and on my face right now, I actually have like a lip stain on my face. It's actually from Lottie London. It's the Vampire Diaries one. I don't even know where it is on my desk right now. And honestly, I think I didn't even apply it in this room, but it's like this black, those color changing, adjusting, fun little makeup products. It's black, it goes on black, and then it kind of changes to this like pink tone. And I just needed something on my lips earlier, and that's what I put on. So it's actually a stain, so it's not going anywhere. But anyway, brown lip liner. I also don't know what it is lately. I've been like doing like this like round Kim Possible like top lip thing going on, and I've been really enjoying it, and that's kind of what I did today. And now I'm gonna take a lighter nude lipstick, so it's lighter than my lip liner, and I'm gonna be applying that as my liquid lipstick. This one's from OFRA Cosmetics. It's in the shade Kaya, and it is from the Ali Dawson collab. And then finally, for my gloss, I'm gonna be using the OFRA gloss from the Ali Dawson collab in the shade Koa. It's a brown gloss with some gold reflect in it. And I still can't get over the smell of this gloss. It smells like a caramel apple. So this is the final look, my little pumpkin spice latte inspired makeup, or really just playing with some oranges to make a really beautiful fall look, whatever one you prefer. But if you like this look, if you like this tutorial, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I appreciate y'all watching, and until next time, bye y'all.